Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of 80 Days. Last time we left off, we had started to travel towards Venice from Munich, and we are going to Athens. And I think I forgot that we were supposed to go to Vienna as well, but oh well. We hired a private driver with an oil-guzzling Bosek car. We took off for high speed once we were aboard. It appeared to be reinforced with metal strips and brackets. It looked like a lot of parts from broken farm equipment. The driver himself had haymaker hands and suggested he had not long ago been a labourer of the land. I asked him about himself as we drove, but he replied in monosyllables. Our conversation degenerated into a guessing game. Had he designed the car himself? No. It was a Bosek designed by Bosek, of course. Did he like Venice? Yes, it was very beautiful, especially at night. Was or had he been a soldier? Knowing that war with France had seemed almost unnecessary to him, exhausted him, we fell silent, but for the sputtering and spurting of the engine as it exploded rhythmically beneath us. I am at your service. Okay, this is probably... That wasn't really informative, it's mostly a reminder. By midday we crested the mountains and our journey down was almost steam-free. I relished the fresh air, and I could see my master did as well, but then there was the Adriatic Sea. Sparkling as though crusted with jewels, thoughts of grimy London flew from my head. This was the life. In short, the car did not explode and we were rowed across the Gulf to the city of Canals. The lamps were being lit, and we lost ourselves in narrow, winding alleys, enjoying the smell of grilling fish and red wine, and the sparkle of glass from shop windows. This was what the pretty place we had arrived in, indeed. Relationship with folk has improved. Hopefully I can sail from here to... Ooh, that's Fort Lot in Natalia. That is where I want to go. That's part of the gentleman set. We do want that one. And if I had that one as well, I have the full set of Valentine thing. Hopefully that will not bite me in the ass. And hopefully we find a direct route to Athens. Plan. Wait. We had the carnival mask. Antalya, and that was basically it. So we want to go to Antalya, which is... departs tomorrow. Do we want to go to Athens as well? Because that was the quickest way to Antalya. Let's go to Dubrovnik. Well, let's rest it then. I was walking along a canal side in Venice when I found myself in the midst of a group of revelers. They wore a fabulous array of masks, some beak-nosed, other brightly feathered, and even some spun in foul glittering wire. I bowed in greeting, and gave him such a surprise that one tripped, turned, and tumbled into the canal. Her friend seemed drunkenly unconcerned and fell about in pealing laughter as the woman cursed and trashed in the water. I dove to the rescue. Reaching her in a few strokes, who told us the water was cold. She kicked and fought as I hauled her through a nearby flight of steps. Fiammetta is a daughter of the canal, one of her friends put in. You should have left her in it. Another drunken youth agreed. It's his only time she baths. Fiammetta coughed and choked as I hauled her from the water. I looked her over. Her mask was gone and her fine clothes ruined, but her eyes gleamed. Who are you? She demanded. seeming to see me for the first time. Her friends made various kissing noises and suggested a variety of improbable roles for me. A clown once said, no, another injected. An agent of the Pope. Yet another did Soto... whatever that is. So she... I don't know. Fiammetta's foreign lover, which caused them all to love as Fiammetta cursed them. With admirable thoroughness, I introduced myself with a bow. The effect only a little ruined by the dripping. Passepartout at your service, and what manner of creature are you, Signor Passepartout? She demanded. I am a traveller. Oh, so you're a man who is ruthless and has no love for nature, replied dismissively. You are what is wrong with the world. Her friends laughed, and I bristled. Farewell, mademoiselle. Do not worry yourself, for I shall, she replied with a wide and friendly smile. So I slipped back to Monsieur Fogg as the revellers opened another bottle of wine to appease their consort and friend. That's rude. To Dubrovnik. God damn it. Let's sell that one. What's the ultimate thing? Can I also fit that one in here? Not really. But I already got the timetable thing, so... okay. Okay. Let's stitch this thing, I guess. I have no idea if this is the good route to go. I want to go to Vienna. I don't remember why, but... oh well. We had a bicycle car from a stand on the edge of the lagoon, and the driver took off up into the mountains, bumping the car levers in a merry dance. Converse, obviously. Begin conversation about Dubrovnik Sofia. Athens, please. What about Lahore? Maybe I'll learn something. Karachi sounds good. Interesting. The countryside rolled past, and I sat back and enjoyed the ride. I talked to the driver. Maybe I'll learn something. An Italian man called David, basically. Excuse me. I love the roads, he declared. They get me out of my own country. And where do you drive? Where am I? Up and down, we talked. A little more about travelling. He told me the news from Vienna that the Emperor of Austria-Hungary is beginning to move his troops for more along the routes into Belgrade. As so much of folks are still not clearly wondering if he could somehow travel with them. A few hours later, we crossed the border into Austro-Hungary and went through a long inspection process as it searched for possessions for artificial tools. I was not concerned. We were hardly smugglers. They found nothing, of course, and made us on. Then we crawled along the much tighter roads and out of Austro-Hungary once more into a tiny independent city part of Dubrovnik. Plan. I want to go to Athens, but I have no idea how to do that, so we're going to rest. That will heal him up a bit as well. The people of Dubrovnik that I met assured me that their country is only one city larger, the most peaceful and most prosperous in the world. I spoke of the independence as a shining jewel on the face of the earth. It seemed that there was, despite the size, a military thrust to American men. I spoke of their independence as a shining jewel on the face of the earth, and told terrible tales of how they were almost followed by the French, the Austrians, and all but everybody else when the rest of Dalmatia fell under the sway of one empire or another. Then they told me they assured me. Then they held out. They assured me that they held out. They assured me was entirely because of the glass. I inquired as to what the glass was. While they were more than happy to tell legends of it, they would not show it to a foreigner, especially from such a predatory force as France. Remember, this is not too long since the Napoleonic Wars. So, yeah, I flattered them, declaring their secret groundbreaking and unrepeatable, and my inquiries led me to believe quite firmly that none of them had seen this glass either, or indeed knew what it was. Perhaps it was a brave soldier's bravery that saved you. I suggested as gently as I could, not wanting to start any kind of unsightly brawl. Oh, indeed, my drinking, companion replied, but the bravery was because of the glass, so no, you see. Could a glass help us travel around the world? I asked. When such startles, but my question was met with a shrug and another half-liter of wheat beer. So I soon resigned myself to having no idea what the secret of the privilege might be. I turned my attentions to how we best might leave this enchanted glade of a city, but sadly there was not much in the way of onward journey except for a crouch. Coach of pilgrims headed into Greece on our religious tour, eastern coast to the sea. I retired. Okay. Well, it's a start. So let's do the pilgrim coach, I guess. We found the pilgrim's coach without trouble and we clambered aboard, destined for the Meteora Valley. It doesn't seem most amused that the monasteries would perhaps be a hub of global news, and a good place to research routes onwards, so long as they are not all committed to vows of silence. Let's groom fog. Are you a believer, Passepartout asked one of the passengers as we climbed slowly along the winding mountain roads. In some things, yes. Well, perhaps Meteora will make a true believer of you. Just to be there is to be a little closer to heaven. A distant look entered her eyes, and then she glanced down at me. It's high up, you see. That seems most logical. Fate is illogical, she answered upon a statement which seemed somewhat logical. But clearly my response had been sufficiently overwhelming, as an hour later she rounded on me again. But tell me clearly, do you dislike Meteora Valley? Most people find it most soothing, most beautiful. I have never been, I replied with a shrug. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Passepartout, I fear that it has been terribly overrated by my fellow pilgrims. I am concerned, what if it has only superficial beauty, but with little spiritual substance? What if it is a pleasant enough place to walk around, but what one sees is nothing more than a pretty picture? What if this valley merely exposes how vacuous our understanding of beauty can be? In either way, your visit will teach you something. I told her as soothingly as I could, and it is always good to learn. Then, with a nod, she went back to chewing her fingers as in a state of deep existential concern. Yummy. No, his health is going down. Converse. Now, Meteor Valley. Athens. Bloom Fountain. Bloom Fountain, that's in South Africa. Isn't it? That would be a horrible waste, basically traveling straight south. The road twisted and climbed as we passed through a spectacular range of mountains in the heart of Greece. The horses spat steam from their nostrils and dust from their hooves, and I started to cross fingers, hoping they would not break down. It was however middle of Europe, it was a Mansroman, where that might be considered a viable place to buy a spanner. But we were fortunate. The pilgrim with us were blessed, perhaps, or else they were travelling exceedingly light, as the horse was successfully crested the mountains, and tumbled into the spectacular Meteor Valley. Stone pillars rose like a giant's legs into the sky, and atop each were stone buildings so precariously placed they appeared to have been thrown. The carriage left us at the base of a funicular railway, and here our pilgrims split off, each to a monastery of their respective denomination. Which should we visit, I asked Monsieur Mogg. My master pointed at one rock pillar in particular. This one, he declared confidently. Hurry up now, Passepartout. Explore. Atop the high stone pinnacles of the dramatic Meteor Valley, we encounter mysterious religious groups. At the time, it seems to me that almost every form of devotion has been tried somewhere. The religions are formed in opposition. That almost every form of devotion has been tried somewhere by someone, and often to a successful effect, but the levitating atheist of Varlam must rank among the most obscure. Varlam is the name of the rock in which the monastery perches like a seagull sitting boldly atop a gas lamp post. But the monks go higher yet, rising up the central chimney stack of their building while seated atop half balloon steel cameras. The plume from the boiler below is strong enough to carry them high into the air. And I wonder if this was a fast way for my master and I to travel. How far can such a trip? How far can such a trip carry on? I cried carefully as the levitating one's parachute opened and they drifted out of sight into the valley below. Passepartout, my master remarked, looking calmly away across the view. I do hope you are not considering joining in with this practice. No fear, monsieur. He noted a slight movement dramatically in time to coincide with the firing of another monk out of the chimney cannon and up into the skies. A nearby monk caught my eye. Are you an atheist, monsieur? Do you wish to see the world as it is, and yourself in relation to it, a mere moving speck? I am no atheist, but it seems a remarkable experience, sure. I myself have done it 100 times, the monk replied with a gentle nod, and I believe without the aid of divine protection either, then I wish you luck instead. He nodded in return, then slipped past me and into the vestibule, closing the metal door behind him with a solemn clang. Mere minutes later we heard an explosion from within and the sound of Vix's exuberant cry as he launched into the air. Her character is now dependable. Okay, we can go to Athens. Depart. Okay, did I have anything that I could sell in Athens for a shit ton of money? No, but I have that in Antalya, and I have. Sure, we can depart tomorrow. Sleep. That will give him a bit of a chance to heal up as well. He passed a few calming hours watching Monk firing themselves up into the sky, each entered the brass chamber with the expression of understandable trepidation and then screamed with delight. As the vent was open and rocked up into the Hellenic skies. What do you make of it, Monsieur? Asked my master in a quite sort of voice. Yeah. The practice of devotion is the most curious artifact of human culture, he replied before proceeding to brush his moustache into place, strand by careful strand. I would be sorry to leave these cheerful, high-velocity monks behind, but ultimately their journeys would be less adventurous than ours. After all, who would be confined to a valley when the whole world can be discovered? Depart for Athens. Go. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.